Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel SS Analysis. First of all, I would like to tell you that if you are watching this video first time, subscribe my channel to see my more upcoming videos on analysis of different commodities and equity indices. And second important thing is to watch this video till its end to understand its story to take your decision. Your well like will motivate me to be regular in working more hard for you. So let us start the day to analyze the movements of natural gas futures in different time frames. So friends, here you can see a weekly chart of natural gas futures. So here I would like to tell you that this is a live chart of natural gas futures. So here you can see that how the natural gas futures have been showing enough strength here during this week. So here you can see that how the natural gas futures started this week from the levels of $3.915 and tested a high at the levels of $4.138 and currently trading at the levels of $4.121. So friends, here you can see that how the natural gas futures find this level as a very decisive level, because here you can see that how the natural gas futures behaved at these levels during the year 2018 when the natural gas futures found a system move above this immediate resistance. The natural gas futures found a sharp upward move and well tested a high at the levels of 4.927. So friends, here I find that this level seems to be a psychological level for natural gas futures. Friends, here I find that the natural gas futures look ready at this level at $4.118, which seems to be a decisive juncture for natural gas futures, where I find that if the natural gas futures sustain in today's move above this immediate resistance, this immediate resistance will turn into a strong support, and here I find that the natural gas futures could try to test the next resistance at the levels of $4.229 in today's move. So friends, here I find that if the natural gas futures sustain above the next resistance at $4.229 up to the announcement of this week's inventory, will see this uptrend to continue, because here you can see that how the natural gas futures have been still maintaining this uptrend in a weekly time frame, and here you can see that how the natural gas futures have found a strong base here at the upper end of bullish flag, and after a consolidation during the last few weeks, the natural gas futures finally found a breakout from this bullish flag during the last week. But during the last week, the natural gas futures showed a strong bumpy move when it tested a low at the levels of 3.859, and on the upper side, the natural gas futures have already tested a high at the levels of 4.196 during the last week. So first, here I find that for today's move, the levels of 4.189 seems to be the immediate resistance for natural gas futures, and the next resistance level will be at the levels of 4.229. And here I find that if the natural gas futures sustain above this major resistance at $4.229, the next target for bulls could be the levels of 4.431. So friends, now let us have a look at the movements of natural gas futures in a daily time frame. So here in a daily time frame, here you can see that how the natural gas futures have been maintaining this uptrend from the levels of 2.8, what the natural gas futures tested on May 24th, when the natural gas futures started the current uptrend above the upper end of Ichimoku cloud. And since then, the natural gas futures were maintaining this uptrend up to the levels of 3.826, where the natural gas futures found their first resistance here amid this bullish flag on June 29, and since then the natural gas futures attempted to breach this major resistance here, and finally after a consolidation here amid this bullish flag, the natural gas futures finally found a breakout on July 20th above this bullish flag, and since then the natural gas futures have already tested a high at the levels of 4.186. So friends, here you can see that how the natural gas futures have consolidated during the last several trading sessions between a range from the levels of 3.930 to $4.071, where in today's move the natural gas futures finally look ready for a breakout move above the immediate resistance at $4.118. And here I find that if the natural gas futures sustain above this level, we could see this uptrend to continue during this week, where I find that the natural gas futures could close this week well above the levels of dollar 4.4 because the warmer weather conditions have returned once again in the US, and here I find that the announcement of upcoming inventory could be supportive for natural gas bulls, where I find that if the natural gas futures sustain well above this major resistance at the 4.229 after the announcement of upcoming inventory, we'll see this uptrend to continue, where the next target for the natural gas bulls could be at the 4.5. So friends, here you can see that how the natural gas futures have finally found a sustainable move well above the 9 days moving average, which confirms the continuity of a bullish trend in natural gas futures, whereas the natural gas futures have been currently facing stiff resistance at the immediate resistance at the 4.118, whereas in today's move the natural gas futures have tested a high at the levels of 4.138 and a low at the levels of 4.056 and currently trading at the levels of 4.110. So friends, here I find that we'll have to keep a visible eye over the movement of natural gas futures above the levels of 4.118, because here I find that if the natural gas futures are not able to sustain above this immediate resistance, the natural gas futures could find a downward move once again up to the levels of the 3.952, where we could find one more bounce back from these levels, because here I find that below the levels of the 3.952, the natural gas futures have strong buying support from here. And here I find that if the natural gas futures are not able to hold above the levels of 3.922 before this weekly inventory, we'll see the natural gas futures to test the next support at the 26 days moving average, which is currently at the levels of 3.853. The natural gas futures could find a strong reversal once again, and on the other hand, I find that if the natural gas futures find a sustained move well above the second resistance at the levels of 4.229, we could see an advent of a short coming rally from here, which could push the natural gas futures up to the levels of the 4.5. So thank you friends, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to share this video with your more and more friends. Thank you.